we have an amma that goes in between the Heichal and the Kodesh HaKodashim. It would be right about there. Right about there, there would be. The translation of traxin is not so clear. Some say traxin is a compound word that means inside and outside, because that amma was unclear if it was part of the Heichal or part of the Kodesh HaKodashim. So where are we holding? 63?
62. Oh, now if you had the
amma traxin is 63. The Esrim amma Bais Kodesh HaKodashim.
83.
Now we're up to 83.
It's interesting. Traction sounds like traction, which is like, in a way, a resistance between one and another.
Very good. Pass this back.
No. Give him a double. Hit him up with a double.
Kaisel HaHeichal, where are we holding 83? Kaisel HaHeichal Sheish. The back wall of the Heichal was 6. 89, thank you. V'hata Sheish. The room in the back was 6. 95. The Kaisel HaTah Chamish. And the wall of the Ta is 5. That makes 100. Now, I should tell you that according to the opinion that said that each Ta is taking up the entire length of that side, and there's 5 of them, so just follow this. It says, Kaisel HaHeichal Sheish, inside the Kaisel HaHeichal was a Ta, according to this opinion. V'hata, and then you had a Ta itself. So each Ta has a different name here. Kaisel HaHeichal is a name of one of the Ta'im. Then I have the Ta, and then I have a Kaisel HaTah, which is another one of the Ta, and that's the 3 of the back. Remember we said on the back there were 3 above it, and then 2 on the top. Okay, now let's go Menachem and Ladarim. From north to south.
When we say that it's 100 amos, we're talking about exterior walls.
Yeah,
from
including exterior.
So the interior was not.
Right, 100%. Shiva Mama, from north to south was 70 amas. Kaisel HaMasiba, the wall of the Masiba, we're going through the 5 Toim now, and each one has a different wall. So listen to this. The most outer wall is called the Kaisel HaMasiba, and that was Chamish. That was 5 amas. It's hollow, and you could walk in between it. That's the first Ta. Masiba, there's another one which is a tunnel, which took us up to the roof. It has the ramp. That's Shalish. That was only 3. That was more narrow. Kaisel HaTah, this is the 3rd Ta. It's called the Kaisel HaTah. The wall of the Ta, that's 5. V'hata, the Ta itself is Sheish, and then Kaisel HaHeichal is Sheish. Let's add this up together. We have the outer wall. Let's add this up. We started with 6 is the Kaisel HaHeichal, plus another 6 is 12, plus the Kaisel HaTah is 5 is 17. No, whoops, I'm not doing that right. I did it wrong. We have to start from Kaisel HaMasiba is 5, plus 3 is 8, plus another 5 is 13, plus the Ta, which is 6, which is 19, plus the Kaisel HaHeichal, which is 6 is 25. Okay, now B'toicha Yasser Mama. Now we're in the room already, and there's 20 amas along the room. So where we're holding 45. Kaisel HaHeichal will do exactly the same on the other side. We had on this side 25. We're going to add 25 to the other side. Kaisel HaHeichal Sheish. You have 6 of the wall. V'atar Sheish. You want to add that together to the 45? So we're up to 57. Kaisel HaTah Chamish. You have another 5 for the wall of the Ta. That's 62. Bais Mayim is Shalish. Now remember that there was a ramp on one side that went up. The other side doesn't have the ramp because you're already on the roof. So what's over there? That's an area that's a drainage area where the water, but it's exactly the same size. So that's called Bais Mayim is Shalish. So where were we holding? Now we're up to 65. Kaisel is Chamish Amma. The wall is 5 amas, is 70. We said it's 70 amas. Good. Now, the ulam here was 15 amas on this side and 15 amas. So the 70 here plus 15 and 15 is a total of 30. That's 100. Okay. That area of the ulam that's behind over here is called, that's protruding outwards, is called Beis HaChalifos. Shasham goinzim es hasakinim, over there they would keep the knives.
Excuse me, what area is that?
We're talking about this area back here. That's and the extra protrusion. Here, let me give you a picture. He's putting a wall along it. He thinks the wall of the ulam goes all the way to the back, that the whole thing was a square. Does the Rambam hold that the whole thing was a square? According to this, that there's time and then there's an empty space of 15, actually it's not an empty space of 10, because the wall of the ulam is 5. According to this picture here, this wall right here, not the top of it, but this wall, actually goes all the way to the back, which turns this into a square. And in that area would be something called Beis Chalifos. Over there, they would keep the knives. The heichal itself was narrow in the back and wide in the front. It's similar to a lion, which has broader shoulders. Shenemar hoy Ariel Kiryas Chana David. It calls this a lion.
The front, yeah.
It's talking about the head of the lion, like the hair or the shoulders. No, it's the shoulders, right? So, just like the lion is narrow in the back and wide in the front, what do you think? It's the head? It's the head? It's the shoulders.
Ari sits like this. Ari yoshev kacha.
That's the hero. He said the main.
Now, the Gemara discusses Bein Kesef of Shachem, that it was between the shoulders. Bein Kesef of Shachem, between the shoulders. But he may be referring to the. No, it could be that this is a pshat. The Bein Kesef of Shachem is referring to that it's. That's referring to the highest elevation. It wasn't on the highest elevation.
So
okay, let's go to the next.
The question is, how do you reconcile that it's wider in the front and narrower in the back if you just said it's
That it's a
100
square.
by 100?
Yeah, so what does the Rambam do for
I
that?
think he puts the back at 95 and the front is 105 and the middle is 100, so it's slight.
Is it the walls that are thinner? Or it's the...
No, the whole thing would basically be, I'm exaggerating it, but it would be like this. So the back is 95, the front is 105, and the middle is 100. So it's a little wider in the front.
He overate.
Interesting. Okay, Kol HaZara. The last pair. Kol HaZara Haya Eirech Meyu Shmeinim V'Sheva Al Rechav Meyu Shleishim V'Chamish. We learned already that this is 135. Nashim Dait and Kala. 135 across that way. Now we have 135 that way, but we have 187 from here till the end. Mina Mizrach Lamaira, from east to west is Kuf Pei Zayin, 187. Makam Jesus Ragli Yisrael is Yud Aleph Amma. The Yisraelim are allowed to walk is 11 Amas. That's right past this doorway here, right over here, is 11 Amas that they can walk. Makam Jesus Kayanim Achaz Esri Amma. The area of the Kayanim is another 11 Amas. That's 22 Amas. HaMizbeach Shleishim V'Shtayim. The Mizbeach is 32 Amas wide. So what's 22 and 32? Is 54. Bein Ulam V'Lam Mizbeach Esrim V'Shtayim. There's another 22 between the Mizbeach and the Ulam. That's 76. 54, 76. We're including the steps. This is time Amma. Heichal, supposed to say, it says Hachel. Heichal is Kuf Amma. The Heichal is 100 Ammas. So that's 66 plus 100 is 166. How much? What do we need to get to 187? Another 11. So V'achas Esri Amma L'achir Beis HaKapiros, and then there's 11 Ammas in the back to the wall. From the north to the south is 135. Okay, here we're going to be missing a little bit of space. We're going to have to divide it. You'll see.
And I think with the thing paper I told you with the Rabbi actually shows also exactly what the spaces are.
Oh.
Which is very cool.
Okay. But it doesn't tell us. We'll assume it's going to be divided equally. Okay, Menachem Shalom Mizbeach. The ramp and the Mizbeach, we're not starting from the end now. At the end, when we do the whole calculation, we'll see that we missed some. We're going to throw it back into how big that was. But the ramp and the Mizbeach together is 62. So the Mizbeach was 32. And the ramp was 32. We said the ramp was 32, but it covers over two of them. So you drop two. There was an overlap of two. So together it's 62. From the Mizbeach until the rings that would hold the animal is 8 amas of empty space. So 62 plus 8 is 70. We're almost done. We have to get to 135. Makamat Bais is Esrim Va'arba. 24 amas. So Makamat Bais. So 70 plus 24 is 94. Minat Bais L'Shulchanis is Arba. Is 98. Minat Shulchanis L'Nasin Arba. I'm not sure if I'm reading that right. It's Zarba, okay. Nanasan lakaisa la azara is shmaina ames. From those nanasan, which are those small poles that they would use to skin the animal, to the last wall over there would be another 8. Where are we holding? I don't know. Plus 8 is 100. V'hamaisar, what? 102. So plus 8 is 110. So we have 25 left over. Right? From 110 to 135 is 25. So v'hamaisar, what's left over? Ben kevesh l'kaisel umakim hananasen. That would be 12.5 each. Now we have 12.5 from there to the
Why
from
did
the
you
wall.
write that there was 12?
I don't know, because it doesn't say it clearly how much it is,
It's like
so we have to
whatever's
divide it
left.
afterwards. Okay, Yitzi, do you want to take over?
Do I want to?
You know what shows even the thing.
You're gonna do the whole
Mishnah Gimel.
Oh, you want to do the same after?
If you do in English, this over here.
You can do it in English.
Does
Oh,
this
yeah.
follow the
Yeah,
words
yeah,
exactly?
yeah, yeah.
Or just read it over here?
Until after short.
Do you want me to do, I can do one more. You do it. This is your
You can
last
do
two
it.
Mishnayos.
Where's this? Where are we starting now?
Mishnah Gimel. Up to Mishnah Gimel.
Oh, there you go.
Let's turn the camera.
So the last 2 Mishnahs of this.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I want to give you
This guy
security.
worked hard on this.
Security back.
No, you worked so hard. 3 hours to do this.
Move the cup, please.
Here we go.
That's thermos.
Look what you did.
The thermos, move the thermos.
Okay, now you can feel it.
A zebra.
I stole it from Just for the Mitzvah.
Last 2 Mishnahs of this chapter describe 6 chambers located in the courtyard. Which courtyard are we talking about? The Zara, which is this 135 by 187. But really it's starting from the Ezras Yisrael in the east.
So the wall. Starting from the wall.
Yeah. There are 6 chambers in the courtyard. What does it say? Shlosh Batzafan v'shalosh Badarm. 3 in the north and 3 in the south. Shabbadarm, the ones in the south were Lishkas HaMelach, that's the salt chamber. Lishkas HaParve, the Parve chamber. And Lishkas HaMedichin, the rinsing chamber. The Mishnah explains the purpose of each chamber. The salt chamber where they put the salt for the karbanos, the offerings. The parva chamber was where they salted the hides of the holy offerings, and also the karbanos. And on the roof was a mikvah for the Chayin Gadol on Yom Kippur. What?
Rooftop pool.
Yeah, how you get leaking?
Which roof? What's in the roof? Which roof?
The roof of Lishkas Apart.
That would be over here somewhere, right? It would be somewhere on this side.
Yeah.
On the roof of the building.
No, I understand. I'm just wondering.
Still on.
It's probably going to explain it in a
Everybody
second.
got excited about that.
Next door to the spa, where they were burning everything was happening.
The rinsing chambers where they rinse the innards of the sacred offerings. Okay, umisham
To rinse.
mesiba Eily lagag Bais haparva, and from there a spiral staircase ascended to the roof of the adjoining parva chamber. Now, if you notice, it says umisham mesiba. This is the same word that is the winding ramp going around to the top. So here it says staircase ascended to the roof of the adjoining parva chamber, and before we said it's a ramp.
Right.
So what else do we know is sounds like this? Maybe a sevivon, dreidel, you spin, right? So really the word means that it's winding around.
Not
It
necessarily.
doesn't necessarily say that it's a ramp or a staircase. There's another word, sevima, that we used, which was in the northwest chamber, the inside chamber of the Beis HaMikdash, where the Kohanim slept. There was also a winding stairwell going downstairs to the mikvah. Uses the same word. It's very, if you think about a winding stairwell, if that was a ramp, it'd basically just be a slide going down to your swimming pool or something. So theoretically, that's steps, which means that the winding ramp or whatever going around is not necessarily a ramp. It's probably also stairs going around on the outside.
I mean, the season like this at the party.
Right.
Everyone reads there.
They want
Maybe because of party, everyone sits around.
All right.
I have in Yiddish Schwindel trap.
Oh, Schindler
Yeah,
Trap.
yeah.
Window is more dizzy.
All right.
Go ahead. Last
Mishnah Dalet. Okay, the Mishnah discusses the three northern chambers mentioned above. Shabbat Safan. Those in the north were Lishkas HaEitz, the wood chamber. Lishkas HaGoyla, it says here the diaspora chamber. Lishkas HaGazis, the chamber of Hewn. How do you say that? Hewn? Hewn stone. Mishnah states the purpose of each chamber. Lishkas HaEitz, regarding the wood chamber. Amar Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov says, Shachachti. No, you saw.
My kind of rabbi.
I forgot exactly what it was for.
Yeah.
Abba Shalimer, he says, Lishkas Kohen Gadol Haisa Chayresh Tehen. The Kohen Gadol's chamber, another name for the wood chamber, was behind, and it was behind the other two chambers. So it was called the wood chamber. They say maybe it was like it had wood paneling, or maybe even it was a temporary thing, because the Kohen Gadol used to go there a week before Yom Kippur, so he'd go away from his family, and sometimes the Kohen Gadol was a little ignorant and maybe didn't even know Aleph Beis. They, at those times, they even paid to get the position. And the Sanhedrin, whatever, they would really have to train the Kohen Gadol in what his whole Avodah on Yom Kippur would be. It was a whole very big, complicated Avodah. And the Kohen Gadol wouldn't necessarily make it out alive, and it was a big simcha if he was, but he had to go a week before. So they said, because really it was only a week before, it was a temporary house, and anyway, they weren't supposed to have wood in the Azara, so that's one thing, or they maybe stored some wood there. Then you have that's the chamber, fuel stone, the gag, lashtan shava, and the roofs of all three were the same height. Lishkas Hagoyla, Shamhaya var the diaspora chamber where the well of the diaspora was located. Galgal Nasan Alav, and a wheel was placed over the well to facilitate the drawing of the water. Misham Maspikin Mayim Lechol Ha'azara. And from there, drinking water would be supplied to everyone in the Hazara, in the courtyard. They did at there was some archaeological digging, whatever, and they actually found this well under. So that is helpful to find exactly where, if you know where this is located and you know it's inside the Azara on the northeast side of the Azara, you know where the well is. You have to have the wheel bring it straight up, so that helps position where this is, especially when you have conflicting opinions of where the dome of the rock is. Is it over the top of the mountain had to have 2 points. The rest was hollowed up. It had 2 points that were actually up where there's something on it. One that was the Mizbeach was directly on the mountain, and then the Kodesh HaKadoshim was the rock present where the Aron would be, even though the second base of Mikdash Aron wasn't there, but the rock was, you could see the rock there. So if you have the Dome of the Rock or wherever the base of Mikdash, if you say that's where the Aron was, it moves this way. If it's where the Mizbeach was, it shifts over. But if you know where the well is, where the wheel is, that helps place it.
Let's leave this for after the last piece, because does that make sense?
The last
We
circle
leave it,
after
or
that.
what time do they start?
Earliest half.
Oh, so we have time. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
You have
Let's
12
finish
minutes.
now.
You have 12 minutes.
Okay,
for
good.
earliest
They're starting
half.
late. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Lishkas Agazis from Haya Sanhedrin Gedaila Shal Yisrael Yesheves. The chamber of the Yunson is where the great Sanhedrin of the Yidden would sit. The Dana Es HaKehuna, and the judge of the eligibility of the Kehanim, V'chein Nimsa by Apostle, a Kain in whom disqualification was found. Leibish Chayrim Misatef Chayrim would clothe himself in black wrap at his head and back. What's this?
Wear black clothes.
Okay. And he would leave the chamber and go. The Shalai Nimsa by soul, and a kind whom no disqualification was found would clothe himself in white and wrap his head in white. He would later he would enter the courtyard and serve with his brethren, the Kohanim, and they would make a day of celebration. I'm not sure what this black and white thing is.
This just means that if he wasn't eligible, they would probably check his lineage, and if he made it through, they would look at his family tree.
Well, what does this have to do with this chamber?
So this was in the Bezdin that they had there, the Sanhedrin. So they would judge the person's lineage. If he didn't make it through, so he would put on like a sign of mourning. It would be black clothes. Otherwise,
go home.
Yeah, that's how he would go home. It was, he would go home dressed like in black. And
Otherwise, they would have he would be in white, and they would have a day of celebration.
big party.
To thank Hashem that no disqualification was found in the descendants of Aaron the Kohen. And thus they would.
Just want to say, is that the term sneak? Was that the term that Rabbi Gross used? Because that could be the pshat. It could be that he would dress in black so people shouldn't recognize him.
No, that's what he said. I don't remember if he used that word.
That could be a pshat, because it says that in other places that you wear black so no one would recognize you. Maybe he was embarrassed, he would cover himself in black. That could be the
Sneak out in the shadows.
So that
Ninja
you
Kayan?
should get away with going to slip the other way.
Oh. Aha.
They should be noticed.
Oh, so you should be noticed. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Orange is the new black.
And thus
You
they
wouldn't
would
know about that, though.
proclaim Baruch HaMakim Baruch Hu, blessed is the omnipresent, blessed is he. Shaloi Nimsa Apostle, Zarei Shel Aaron, for no disqualification was found in the descendants of Aaron, of Baruch Hu. Shavachar Ba'Aaron Uvanov, and blessed is he who chose Aaron and his sons. La'amid L'shares L'fnei Hashem Bebeis Kachei HaKodashim, to stand and serve before Hashem in the chamber of the Holy of Holies. And this concludes the
Now-
chapter of Middos, or the tractate of Middos.
Yeah, so turn the page there.
You know? Oh, good. This is my page.
You can read in Hebrew or in English, whichever one you want. The Hadron.
Depends how long you want to stay. English, I could go faster. I'm sorry.
Whichever one you want.
Okay, so I'm saying in English, please translate into Hebrew for yourselves.
Don't worry. English is good.
Okay. We shall return to you, tracting Middos and Seder Kedashim, and you shall return to us. Our thoughts are on you, tracting Middos and Seder Kedashim, and your thoughts are on us. We will not forget you, tracting Middos and Seder Kedashim, and you will not forget us neither in this world nor in the world to come. Yiratzim, may it be your will, Hashem, our Hashem, and the Hashem of our fathers, that your Torah be our preoccupation in this world, and may it remain with us in the world to come. Hananya bar Papa, Rami bar Papa, Nachman bar Papa, Achi bar Papa, Abba Mari bar Papa, Rafam bar Papa, Rachish bar Papa, Surcha bar Papa, Abba, Ada bar Papa, Dura bar Papa. Please, Hashem, sweeten the words of your Torah in our mouth and in the mouth of your people, the house of Israel, and may we all, we are our offspring, the offspring of our offspring, and the offspring of your people, the house of Israel. All of us know your name and study your Torah. Your commandments makes me wiser than my enemies, for is forever with me. May my heart be perfect in your status, so that I not be shamed. I will never forget your precepts, for through them you have preserved me. Blessed are you, Hashem. Teach me your status. Amen, 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 salah, forever. We express gratitude before you, Hashem. Our Hashem, the Hashem of our forefathers, that you have established our portion with those who dwell in the study hall, and have not established our portion with idlers. For we rise early, and they arise early. We arise early for the words of Torah, while they arise early for idle words. We toil and they toil. We toil and receive reward, while they toil and they do not receive reward. We run and they run. We run to life of the world to come, while they run to the well of destruction, as it is said. But you, O Hashem, you will lower them into the well of destruction. Men of bloodshed, to see shall not live out half their days, and I will trust in you. Maybe you, Rel Hashem, Hashem, that just as you have helped me complete Tractate Middos and Sefer Kedashim, so may you help me begin other tractates and books, and to complete them, and to learn and to teach, to safeguard and to perform, and to fulfill all the words of your Torah teachings with me. May the merit of all the Naim and Maraim and Torah scholars stand by me and my children, that the Torah shall not depart from my mouth and from the mouth of my children and my children's children forever. May it be fulfilled for me the verse, when you walk, Torah will guide you when you lie down, it will watch over you when you wake up, it will converse with you, for because of me, Torah, your days will increase, and years of life will be added to you. Long days are in the right hand, and in the left hand are wealth and honor. Hashem will give might to his people. Hashem will bless his people with peace.
Okay. That is the Kaddish Derabanan.
Word.
And this. No, it's the regular Kaddish. A regular Kaddish Derabanan.
So we're in this.
I just
You want to have a regular siddur? Phone?
no, they'll give it to you.
Tescado?
Not this guy, but Al Yisrael.
Yeah,
I'll take a
hold
sip.
on. Yeah.
Okay, Smizra, I guess. Tescado, Tescado, Shmirah,
Wait, no one move.
Don't move.
The
Mr.
ceremony.
Katzowitz, unbelievable job. So for your effort, we're going to present you the certificate. Daf Yomi Siyam Sar Yisrael Katzavit. It's hereby honored for the successful job making the middle Siyam by us. There you go. And as a special treat, Yitzi does J bricks, so he has a lot of Lego sets. But here's one you don't have. One we created for you. For middle Siyam, and we sent them by.
Okay,
And we're gonna have a shoot after the davening. So come back for the food.
Thank you.
Make sure you suit up.